5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, reviewers? We appreciate you joining us today. This is the JB and Benny Blue Review Podcast. We are available on all streaming platforms. You can follow us at JB and Benny Blue. And if it's your first time checking us out, make sure to go to jbandbennybluereview.com and check out any past episodes. They have some great interviews, great conversations with some great people. And this is one of these days and times where you kind of remember, where you were, what you were doing, and we're very fortunate here at the Review to be able to have spoken, and we'll continue to speak with some great people that are motivating and doing great things in their fields. And normally, we have our our quote unquote patented segments, and JB and I have our patented production meeting to talk about what we want to talk about. And we have the Super Bowl coming up. We are planning a different type of show, but today is not going to be one of those days. Today, we unfortunately have to talk about the passing of one of the greatest NBA players, athletes, and, stewards for the game as it crossed over the entire world. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash today here in the Los Angeles area, as well as a few others, including his young daughter Gigi, which is probably the most saddening part about it. Is you're talking about a 13-year-old girl who is becoming a young woman and building her own life under her dad's tutelage, which was a beautiful thing to see. So we're going to spend this episode talking about Kobe's life and career, and it's obviously very fresh on our minds because we're recording this just shortly after this happened. It goes without saying, and I'll give JB the floor in about 10 seconds, but it goes without saying, it's the deepest thoughts, prayers with his entire family. That's all we can offer. The positive energy, and anybody that's been affected by him. Because me personally, living in Los Angeles for over 10 years, I've experienced firsthand how much he means to people, and a lot of like working class LA people who are just trying to get through their day. They have utilized, like I was kind of half jokingly telling my man, shout out to our guy, friend of the podcast, Dr. Tim. I've seen homeless people in Kobe jerseys. Like It's just amazing how far and wide especially overseas and Asia and just all over the world, people in other sports have been transfixed by him. So, simply put, JB, how does this affect you? We talked before we started recording, and what do you think his lasting legacy will be on our society and our planet?
It's in the word greatness, right? The man, he was a perfectionist on that basketball court, and he was not going to be beaten. Mamba mentality was real, and I appreciated him for that. Being a professional athlete, retired professional athlete, and all that stuff, man. And you have to look at the greats. We talked about in our production meeting. You have to look at the greats, and you draw inspiration from them. Kobe Bryant, I always enjoyed watching him play. I was never a huge, diehard Kobe fan, but I appreciated watching him play. Anytime the Lakers were on and I could watch Kobe play, I'd watch him play because I knew he was going to put on a show. You know what I'm saying? He was going to give you what he had. He was going to give you everything he had. I remember the night he scored 81 points. That was unreal. That was the craziest thing that I've ever seen in my life. I've actually witnessed my own two eyes in sports. That was the craziest thing ever. And then as we talked about in our production meeting before we started recording, I remember exactly where I was the night Kobe played his last game. I was in LA. I was still living there. And I was in Big Wang. Shout out to Big Wang, North Hollywood. Still kicking, right? It's still over there, right?
Yeah.
Big Wang's
ain't going anywhere.
It's just standing the test of time, man. So I remember I was at the bar that night, and it was packed, Benny. When I say you couldn't, we know Big Wang. We've been in Big Wang's fights and everything else, football and basketball. Listen, when I say you couldn't walk, you couldn't move in that thing. right? And everybody's eyes were glued to a TV. And when he scored that 60th point, pandemonium, right? And the crowd, all the celebrities, people were high-fiving. It was crazy. He meant the world to the city of Los Angeles. And just Los Angeles alone, it was unreal how much that man meant to that city. Brought 5 championships to the city, along with some other great players. And as we talked about in the meeting before we started recording, again, I wasn't a huge Kobe Bryant fan, basketball player fan, but I became a huge fan of Kobe's as the man after basketball. Mm-hmm. That's the man that I am a huge fan of, and will pattern my own life as a future husband when I get married again, and as a father, and just as a man, and striving to tackle different things and to step out of your comfort zone and do things that people would never think that you could accomplish. I mean, the man won an Academy Award for a short film that he wrote, and he directed, and so on and so forth. And amazing, right? Amazing. He's written a book, if I'm not mistaken, right? Mm-hmm. Probably was writing another one. Knowing him, he was a very intellectual dude. But his greatest body of work to me was being seen in retirement, right? That he did wonderful things on the basketball court, phenomenal things, perfected it. He put everything he had into that game. But man, for him to be the father that he was, and so we see him with, again, God rest his baby soul, Gigi. He would, seeing her at the game with him and him, they side by side, and the way she looked at her dad, like a loving daughter looks at her father, and they shared basketball together. That was their thing. Like that was amazing. I have that relationship with my son, my younger son James. We share football. We can sit and talk about football and who's doing what and who's balling and how he can get better. We sit and talk about things that, just watch guys play. We share football. So him and his daughter share basketball. And it was the most genuine and beautiful thing to watch. Like, I remember the video everybody keeps posting was posted with him discussing I'm pretty sure, fine points of the game. But of course, how social media does, they twist it into, Kobe saying, if I was still playing out, right? The internet, like you said, we get it desensitizes everything, right? So, but that video, it's priceless, right? It's priceless. It's priceless just to see it. It's heartbreaking. It's something that I look at totally different now. Like just that video alone. Who knew? That was less than over a month ago that thing started surfacing. Who knew that on the 26th of January 2020 that him and his baby girl, his oldest daughter, both of their lives would be taken in a tragic helicopter accident. We don't want to be unsensitive to anybody else. The pilot of the other helicopter and the other 2 people that were in that helicopter with Gigi and Kobe. I'm not going to go and start spreading no rumors, but somebody said it was Rick Fox. Like,
I think that was confirmed. That wasn't.
Oh, okay,
there was kind of some misinformation going around. Yeah.
I was like, that would have just been overload. But this is already too much. Like, this too much. Yeah. Like they say. So it's like Kobe Bryant, man, to be 41 years old, and again, like we talked about in the production meeting, man, for this man to just be gone. I will never see Kobe at the Lakers game again. We'll never hear about the great things Kobe's doing. His daughter, gone. I was looking forward. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking forward to watching that little baby play. I knew she was going to be a college basketball player one day. Like, I was enjoying watching her little journey. As it began as an athlete. Yeah, it was dope to watch. As a father of athletes, you always love to watch and see your kids coming to their own in a sport that they love, and to give it their all. And it's phenomenal, again, when you have a parent that shares something with their child love and a passion for a certain thing. I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't, he's gonna be missed, right? I don't know how else to say it. It's kind of something that you just, you just like seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you turn the Laker game on. Of course, you know what I'm saying. LeBron is a Laker, so you turn the Laker game on, and bam, there go Kobe. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, there go Kobe. He's talking to what's the guy's name? Luka. Is his name Luka Doncic? That's his name. How you say his name?
Yeah.
He's talking to him. You know what I'm saying, in his native language, and turns around and gives Kobe a handshake. Cause he's like, respect, like, man, just to see the broken hearts. Stephen A. crying. What's my guy's name? The one that's on ESPN.
Jay Williams had a good speech about
Bryant,
it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sobbing. Because, the man was he was a lot of people, misunderstood him and say he was standoffish, or maybe he was a bit of an asshole. Could be, kind of come across kind of a weird person, but just listen to the people who knew him personally and had an intimate friendship with him, the respect that they spoke of this man, it's incredible. And again, man's gone, bro. Like, he's gone. Like, this is one of the most tragic things that's ever occurred in my life. Like, of course, I've lost my mom to cancer. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I was preparing myself to lose her. You know what I'm saying? Because I was young and I didn't know no better. I just knew she had cancer, and all I knew at 11 years old was that cancer kills people. So in my mind, I was mentally preparing to lose my mother. My father died at 25 of pancreatic cancer. Same thing my mom passed away. I was in my mind. There was always this chance that I'm going to lose him, right? Because of what I knew of cancer. Loved ones in general.
Right.
The what I can compare this to, and my god brother died in a car accident. Mm-hmm. And I've never met Kobe Bryant in my life, but this is right there with my god brother who I grew up with dying in a car wreck. Like, it's right there. That's how tragic and how much this hits home. It hurts, right? It hurts. This is like Nipsey getting killed. That it's up there with that. Yeah. Like, I've only had a couple of encounters with Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? Because my kids go to Crenshaw, so I've met Nipsey, shook his hand. You know what I'm saying? He was always a very high-spirited dude. Again, I didn't know him like that, but it hits home. But this Kobe thing is doing the exact same thing as my god brother getting killed in a car wreck. I didn't have time to prepare mentally for my godmother telling me that my god brother died. I couldn't prepare for that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a tragic, sad, horrible day. Somebody, one of my homeboys texted me, you know what I'm saying, asked, like, how my day was going or whatever. He was like, "What up, fool? How's your day going?" And I was like, shit. He didn't even know about the whole Kobe thing, till I told him. I guess he's probably been at work all morning. But I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, it was going pretty good. So I heard about this Kobe shit. He was like, he put Kobe ... and then he didn't text me back for a while. And then he called me. He was like, bro, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's a great way to describe the way I feel right now. What the fuck? Like, what? Yeah. What the fuck, bro? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Put some perspective, man. Like Jay Will said, and not to cut you off, man. I'm about to give you the mic, man. But and it's crazy, Benny. It is ludicrous. I just got the phone with one of my boys yesterday that we call ourselves the crew. We real tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a group chat, text wise, and we hit each other up. And one of my boys is about to get married. You know what I'm saying? And we all getting ready to go out to Mexico in the summer for his wedding. And I was just talking to one of my dudes, and I ain't talked to him physically, like mouth to mouth, talk on the phone, verbally talked to him in a couple months. And we had just got through agreeing that we got to start talking to each other more because, you know what I'm saying, like, life is short as shit. And we got to make sure that we okay, and we got to talk to each other as family members. And me and you talk all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying, we'll pick up the phone and just hit each other up, man. Like, and it's like, viewers out there, you got, like Jay Will said, you didn't hear what Jay Will said on ESPN. You got shit that you holding on to, or you not fucking with somebody, or whatever, and your family, let that shit go. Those are his exact words on ESPN. Yeah. Let that shit go, right? Love your people. Tell people you love them. You know what I'm saying? Tell people you love them. I know my kids get sick of me saying I love them. You know what I'm saying? Especially my sons. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell them, they're men. They're young men. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm gonna let you know that. Right? I'm gonna let you know that as a parent. I'm gonna let you know I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what the fuck the day holds. And this situation is a huge example of that. It is a huge example of that. You know what I'm saying? I never woke up this morning, and I know the mother of Gigi and the wife of Kobe Bryant didn't wake up this morning. I know Kobe when he woke up this morning. I know Gigi when she woke up this morning. Neither one of them in their mind was like, yeah, I'm gonna die today, so might as well make it the greatest day ever, right? No, just go on about your business. You know, it's just everyday life. You're just living it. My godbrother, when they went to school that morning, he didn't know that, you know what I'm saying, that would be the last time riding in a car. You know, the next vehicle he was in, he got airlifted to the hospital, and then he died a couple nights later. Yeah. So it's again, sad as shit. Many prayers, many prayers and condolences, and like you said, Benny, all the positive energy and vibes and love that I can send till my head starts hurting. Right. I'm sending that to his family, to his loved ones, to the helicopter pilot. Don't know that man, you know what I'm saying? But that's fucked up. That man was just doing his job. He's gone. There's two people that were in the helicopter with Kobe. I'm guessing one of Gigi's teammates and a parent. Probably, if I had to guess, probably a father as well, right? Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, that's three more people who will never see their family again. Who their family will never hear their voice or see their face again. You know what I'm saying? Never get to see them walk into a room. Like, shit, bro. Yeah. Fucking 26 of fucking January, dude. 2020. Yeah. Fuck, bro.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, well said. It's just kind of speaking from the heart, and you bring up a few points to kind of touch on. I mean, that's why I think first and foremost, that's why I think what Jay Will said kind of resonated so much, because he had an experience that basically ended his career, that was potential to be a life or death thing, and he kind of said it best, where he's like, it just the way things like that happen, it's so random, it just happens, and him getting in a motorcycle accident and essentially his rookie year. Right. Derailing what probably would have been an excellent pro career, that changes you as a person if you experience something like that. So I think that's why he was really qualified to kind of to speak on it. And as someone who's kind of dealing with that, with what you experienced, with your parents in this present moment, you're right. There is something that it doesn't make it hurt any less, but you're able to take it more when something is happening, even if it's not going to happen next day, next week, or next month, or even the next year. When you know that thing is inevitable, you do have time to make peace with it and make sure you leave everything as best as you can. There's a certain preparation for that. So when it happens in this particular instance, it's like one of the last people you think it happens to, because the reason why I think it's felt beyond sports is because you're talking about an iconic person. Like, Nipsey is an iconic person. So even if you don't listen to his music, you probably know who he is and what he does. So when someone is that young and there's instantly taken, it affects you because you feel like they're somehow, some way within your universe on a day-to-day basis. Even if you don't outright think, even if you don't wake up in the morning, the first thing you think of is that person.
Right.
There's whatever their influence is dancing somewhere within your soul and within your spirit. So when it's instantly taken without any warning, it is probably the number one most shocking thing you can experience in life, because you don't have any preparation for it. It just happens. And you bring up his connection. I think that's why Kobe is so well respected and so revered internationally, because he really speaks those languages. He really knows, like, he was fluent in Italian. Like, he could speak Slovenian. Like, he was able to connect with a lot of his players during those championship runs by speaking to them in their native tongue. Mm-hmm. And that's a very unique thing that no other player before, really, or since has had, that he's had with other players. So, and then you mentioned in terms of how people kind of perceived him when he was playing. At the end of the day, you're talking about someone who demanded excellence. Mm-hmm. And when you demand excellence, it's not everybody's feelings are going to be taken into account. Right. And that's not necessarily a bad thing when you're trying to achieve a goal. Sometimes you have to put the BS aside and be able just to work toward winning a title or whatever, or whatever it is, that you're accomplishing. So just to read off his playing accolades for those who don't know. I mean, JB mentioned it: 5-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP. This one's kind of hard to believe, but he won league MVP in 2008. You'd think he would have won it a couple more times. Right. 18-time All-Star, 11-time first team All NBA. 9-time All Defensive First Team, which is a very impressive considering how much of an offensive juggernaut he was. Right. 2-time scoring champion. Of course, had both of his numbers retired by the Lakers, and he at the time he was the youngest player in league history to reach 30,000 career points. Obviously, I think it goes without saying. Certainly a Mount Rushmore of the NBA type of player. Right. I mean, obviously we know how the Hall of Fame works. Is typically a few years after you've played your last game was when you can actually get in. So of course he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Easy. As far as I'm concerned, they should already be working on, if they weren't already working on the statue. I've proposed to a couple friends that I believe that they should name the actual court at Staples Kobe Bryant Court permanently. In his honor. I think that would be a very classy thing to do. And yeah, man, I mean, the thing I think I'm most impressed by him is, you talk about your experience, not only being a former professional athlete, but having daughters similar age and being a similar age and trying to make sure you stay healthy for them and maintain that bond. Kobe went through some personal trials and tribulations in between his times when he won the titles with Shaq and the titles with like Powell and the rest of the crew. And I think that was the most impressive, because I think that time, those years kind of solidified him and forced him to take a step back and decide what kind of man he wanted to be. And I think that ultimately formed the man he became, and ultimately made him not only a better basketball player, but a better husband and a better father. Right. And I think that ultimately kind of shaped and will be a part of his lasting legacy. And if nothing else, I think that's one of the most important things to remember, is how he carried himself through difficulty and adversity, and ultimately stayed the course. And he goes out. He goes out what any of us want. He goes out a legend, right? Undisputed. Even if you're not a Lakers fan, I'm not a Lakers fan. Right. Same thing with JB. I was never sitting around the TV watching Kobe all the time, but I remember I actually was I was about to go up at a show at Hooters in Hollywood, and they pushed the show back because everybody in there was fucking going crazy wall to wall watching him put up 60 points on basically he had no legs left, and was just fucking digging deep. And if that isn't the Mamba mentality, or dipping into that well of greatness when your body physically does not have it to perform, right, and you still make it happen, is something really truly to behold. So I mean, I've said that all I want to say. I know JB, you said a lot. As always, the floor is yours for any final thoughts for the reviewers out there before we get on up out of here.
Just love, man. Love the people that are close to you. Like, love them. Again, I know I just said it. Love them. Tell them you love them. Don't ever let, let that opportunity go by to not tell your folks that you love them, or check on your folks. You know what I'm saying? In this situation, for real, it's like makes me, like want to be better at that. Because I'm
Same.
I'm horrible. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? My people that hit me up with, I just, in this day and age, you know what I'm saying, how easy to just pick the fucking phone up and text somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And tell them, hey, what's up? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking about you. Hope everything's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, love on your people, man. And just to the reviewers out there, man, like, I'm pretty sure we have people that listen to our show that from different race, religious creeds, political beliefs. Life's too short for all this hate and shit. Man. I hate to give a heal the world speech, but that shit breaks my heart to see. Right? I'm not. No, I love who I am. I love being a black man, but I also love the man that I'm looking at right now. You know what I'm saying? Who is Caucasian, but he's my fucking brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
Like, I walk by people in Walmart, wherever I may be, and smile and say, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I don't always get a smile and what's up back. But, I mean, shit, this shit is just, life is just too fucking short, bro. Like, life is just too fucking short. You know what I'm saying? Like, too short to have lived and walked this earth and not try to be the best person, the best whatever you are or you could be. Life is too short. So, like Benny said earlier, that Mamba mentality, even if you don't call it that, it should, it's in you. When you feel like you don't have anything left to give and you push through to accomplish something that means something to you, that's significant to you. We can now put a name to it. We can call it that Mamba mentality because of now the late great Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm. Well said. We're viewers. It's certainly gonna be a tough week this week. So, just keep his family in your thoughts and prayers. And it's gonna take time to heal, especially for Kobe fans, for Laker fans, and just a lot of people in the LA area specifically. That's that's not gonna be an overnight thing. We're barely cracking the seal on this new year and new decade. So that's
Right.
a very, very hard thing to take in. But again, if nothing else, we can learn from him in terms of his ability to motivate himself, motivate others, and strive for greatness. And whatever your craft is, whether it's you do a podcast as well, or you do stand up, or you're an actor, you're a musician, or if you're an athlete as well, because many young high school up college athletes listen to our show as well. Everybody has different talent levels. Everybody has different physical abilities, but at the end of the day, man, he was able to prove that you can push it to the absolute limit and truly go out on top, on the court, with what he did in his very last game, and just and stay in the course when times are tough. That's a big thing. I think you can learn from him as well. So, it's a very strange thing to have to say, but a surreal thing to have to say. But rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Gigi. Rest in peace to everybody else that was on that helicopter, because we don't want to forget you as well,
Right,
like JB
no.
Eloquently put.
Right.
And that's it, reviewers. We love you. We'll be back next week for some Super Bowl talk and all that good stuff with a special guest and all that fun stuff. But again, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. This has been the JB and Benny Blue Review podcast. Follow us at JB and Benny Blue, JBandBennyBlueReview.com. And until next time, tell your closest folks, friend, family, or otherwise, if they mean something to you, tell them you love them. And we can all get through this together if we try.
Right.
So, till then.
Reviewers out there, we love y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We fuck with y'all real heavy. So,
yep.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
Till next time, reviewers. We love you. We out. Peace.